me. We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. But these fuel clouds need to use renewed energy.
Hi, my name is Miss Steiner. I'm a 4th grade teacher at Garden City Elementary. We've been singing about renewable and non-renewable resources, and now we are going to do mining land reclamation with Mr. Crosslin. What is he up to now?
Okay, so I'm not too good at singing, but I love listening and I like renewable. I'm going to tell you, reclaiming cookies? Who doesn't want to do that? So we're going to learn about a classroom simulation where you guys are going to be miners. I'm going to sell you some tools. I'm going to loan you some money. You can buy some land, and it's your job to extract, take out the natural resources without destroying the land and putting the land, reclaiming the land back so it is almost as good as it was. Are you miners up for this?
Yeah!
Let's get started. We're going to do a simulation. A simulation is almost like a model or a game. So it's not going to be the real thing, but it's going to be as close to possible as we can. And what we're going to do is we're going to be doing some cookie or reclamation. Reclamation means, well, reclamation, which means that it is, we want to reclaim the land. All right, so when you mine something, like if you're going to mine gold or silver or aluminum, you dig that ore, it's called ore, you dig that material out of the ground, you have to crush it and get the natural resources out of it. That process sometimes makes a huge mess, or you have to use chemicals that are kind of dangerous, or you have to put a lot of dust in the air. So mining an ore can be good and bad because we get gold, we get aluminum, we get iron, we get coal, but it also sometimes causes a big mess. Now, there used to be no laws. You used to be able to dig a giant hole, get the stuff out of it, and just leave a big mess. Do you think that's being a good person of the earth? No. Even though we need this stuff, it's good for us, you can't leave a mess. Luckily here in our state, in Indiana, in the 1970s, they made a law that says when you take the natural resource, let's see, it's right here, out of the ground, take that out, use it, but put the ground back as good or as better as it used to be. Now, it's not going to be perfect, okay? Because, for example, if we were going to talk about coal, when you burn it, it makes electricity. Electricity is great. It powers our machines, our cars, our homes, our schools. But it also puts what in the air sometimes, most of the time? Pollution in the air. It also could leave bad ground. So your job is to find ways that we can have natural resources that when you take them out of the ground, that the ground is good as it used to be. Or find alternatives. Use something like maybe solar power, wind power. That's your job in the future. Today though, we're going to be miners. All of you are going to be a mining company, okay? I'm going to loan you some money. You're going to buy some tools. You're going to pay some workers. And your job is, when you get a chunk of land, this land has this very valuable natural resource. You may have heard of it. I like to call it the chocolate chip. Okay? Now, just like all land's not the same. Some land is very rich in natural resources, and some is very poor, and some there's not. So you're going to get a choice. of 3 different cookies. We have here the deluxe. It's very hard. Take a close look at it. There's the deluxe. We're going to call that A. We have next the original. Another hard cookie. Check out, oh, natural resources. Don't want them to go to waste. That's right. Sorry, I'm the mine inspector. I have to test it. And finally, we have a soft cookie. And this cookie, we'll call this one C, and this one B, and they cost different amounts. So you have to decide. Do you want to mine A, B, or C? And they have different prices. Who can look on their worksheet where it says land acquisition? How much do these cookies cost? A, what does A cost? $7. What does B cost?
$5.
And what does C cost?
$3.
Okay, $3. So, I guess I could do some testing for you, shall I?
Yeah.
Okay, so here is the testing. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay? A, B, and C. Look at them. Which one do you think is the best buy? Let's see. A. Where you go? B. Where you go? C. There you go. Well, as the mine inspector, it's a tough job, but someone has to do it. So I've inspected all this land. What do you want to buy? Think about it. Put a check mark on your worksheet. I'm going to come around and see. S-T.
B-I.
Okay. I just want to know, by show of hands, how many people, and you put a check by it, right?
Yes.
Over to the right where it says my expenses, write that dollar amount. How many people in this class picked A? Show me by hands. A. 1. How many picked B? Show by hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many people picked C? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17. Okay. Okay. So we got 1 A, 7 B, and 17 C. That's going to be really interesting. All right. Now in your next column where it says my expenses, I've loaned you $19. So you should have 2 numbers written now. The cost of your cookie under my expense and 19. You see where that is?
Yep.
Next, we're going to talk about tools. See where it says tools?
Yep.
Tools. There are 3 types of tools. One is a flat toothpick. 2 is a round toothpick. And 3 is a paper clip. So we have a flat, a round, and a paper clip. Now, you can unfold these. They are different prices. Who can look on the worksheet and tell me how much a flat toothpick is? Well, yes. Those are $2 each. What about the round toothpick? Yes.
$4.
Those are $4 each. And what about the paper clip? Yes. $6. So you can tell by this that some of these might break, but they're cheaper. So I want you to, on your worksheet, check off 2 tools that you want. You can have 2 paper clips. Here's what the paper clips look like. You can bend them. You can get 1 paper clip and 1 round toothpick, or you can get 2 flat toothpicks. You decide. Add up how much they cost, put that under my expense. So you see that we have our land, our loan, our tools, and our labor. What I'd like you to do is to add all these up, and this is called a subtotal. So I don't know what your number here was. Some of you guys had 3, and your tools, some of you had 8. Add all these numbers up right now and put it off to the side. This is going to be your subtotal. Go ahead and do that now, please. 41, 42, 43. Here we have some 43s. 44, 45. That's all 45. $46. 47. Really? Any 48? 49? Oh man, okay, you guys have some expensive mining. Anybody 50 or more? Okay, good. So here's the thing. When we start this, you're going to do it for 15 minutes. It's $1 a minute. You have your tools. You bought your land. You don't own the land. You just have the rights to take the chips out. If you do a bad job when we're done, I will inspect. Here's how you get fined. If you use your fingers, that's like letting somebody unauthorized into the mine. You will be fined. If you break a tool, that's okay. The tools are like $2 each. I'll sell you one back for $15.
What?
Hey, I want to make some money
He's
too.
gotta make his money.
So if you break a tool, okay, I'll sell you a new one, but it's not going to be at the cheap price. I'll have to come all the way over to you, bring you a new tool. It's going to cost you. Next, the most important thing. When you put your cookie back together, I don't want a mountain in my neighborhood. You can't stack crumbs on top of each other. Don't make your cookie any bigger than it is. I don't want to walk out of my house and see a giant mountain in my backyard. So your cookie has to be flat. And finally, if you get crumbs outside of your area, I will fine you $1 per square. So what area? Go ahead and take your pencil, circle your cookie. Don't get it real close, but don't make it real far away. Outline your cookie. Never mind. I really want to make some money off of this, so I'm going to demonstrate how to do one of these, okay? All right, so you've got your cookie. The first thing I'd like you to do is turn this upside down so we can have the things right here. Now, if you can't use your hands, so you could, if you want to see the other side of the cookie, you can use your tools to turn it over, right? Now, what I haven't done on this cookie is outline it, so. Okay, so it's outlined, right? Now, if you try to do this, just to like dig out the chips, what's going to happen to the chip?
It's going to pop out.
Well, it might. That's a good chip. So I'm going to put it over here on number 1. The reason I turned this upside down is so it's not in my way. But look, this chip right here. Oh, I picked a bad tool. My bad. And so I'm going to dig. Now that, I won't give you any money for it because look, it still has cookie on it, right? So instead of digging them out, if you dig them out, they break. It's better to excavate around them. There's a good one. There's a good one. There's another. Oh, by the way, each one of these are worth $5. The price used to be $2, but we need some natural resources, so I've increased the price. So now I've made, how much money have I made so far? 10. But my costs were 50. So how many of these do I need to break even? 5, 10,
15, 20,
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
I have to have at least 10 of these to break even. 10 good ones. But let's say I dig this one right here. Oh, that one I need to clean up a little bit. And I go to clean this one up. I don't know if you can see this, but I go to clean this one up and, oh, I broke it. If I break it, it's not worth $5 anymore. I might give you 50 cents. And look at this piece over here that landed in Ohio. I got to get it back. Okay? Now, I keep doing this, and I get these things all over the place. Any crumb that's outside of here, when time's up, when I say time's up, everything has to be back inside. You understand? Even a crumb like that, $1. So you can bend your tools and make a bulldozer. Partials, put the partial ones over here. You think I should charge for this one? No. Oh, I got to clean it up a little bit.
They don't wait in
Oh, if it drops on the floor, you have to use your hands. That's the toxic hazmat, and I'm going to have to fine you.
How much?
Well, it depends. Maybe $20. So there. And I'm not the only inspector. I have some silent inspectors in the room that also can find, right? Mrs. Steiner, Mrs. Neal. Okay. So if you see anybody using their finger like this, you're allowed to find on the spot, take one of their $5 away. I'm just saying. Okay. Now it comes time, and we only have 15 minutes. Oh, and remember, minors don't cry. Be tough. Be good. Be safe. Let's go back to our seats and get started. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Miners, be safe. Take care of your workers. Take care of your tools. And by all means, take care of the land. Let the mining begin.
Oh.
No hands.
That's kind of ominous, Mrs. Steiner. We're going to blow up the mine when it's...
Well, we're blowing the land back.
Oh, it's
Okay. I would turn your paper around so you can put your chips at the top.
Strip mining, that's how they do it, Mr. Crawlin.
I know. We're going to see a video about that.
Oh, I got one. I got one.
I would turn your paper upside down so those little chips don't get in your way. You know what I mean?
Get over there. I got one.
Note to self.
No hands. Your hands can't even support the cookie.
No touching. Who, dude? Someone. Oh, I'd love to find somebody. If I see them, I'm finding them. No crap. So I see our mining company's doing a pretty good job. So far, your gross profits about $65. Oh, I really like how you're making those so nice and clean. Good job, young man.
I got 12. I got 12. I'm ready for hang.
I like this guy right here. He is cleaning up as he is mining to make sure that his reclamation won't be so much to do. Good job. Your neighbor over there, though, I'm a little worried about.
Oh my. What?
Yeah, what? We're going to have a little break in the mining. It's time to reevaluate and talk about safety and talk about mining. And so this is a picture from a mining company before and after reclamation. So this area was just left a mess. So I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing, I trust you that you will put your land back from before to something that's more useful after. We agree? Otherwise, big time fines. Now, let me show you, check this out. Make this bigger right here. Here is, I had a chance, I visit a lot of real mines in Indiana. And I want to show you, let me turn the lights on, we'll just show you a little bit of this, about 3 or 4 minutes of another classroom, go ahead and turn the lights off, and the mining, and you're going to see what a real coal mine is like. So here, they are taking apart. I know, this one was old-time mining. We have better rules now.
Also talk about the importance of conserving as much energy as we can. You can't get it back. When we use it all up, it's gone.
Another neat thing about science is you can learn things, you can make discoveries, and you also have some good cookies too.
I don't know why that guy eats those cookies all the time.
That's you.
Oh, so check it out. So here I am in South Dakota where there's some coal.
Out here.
But
There is another natural resource, coal.
this is coal, a natural resource. This is in Indiana. A friend of mine is the reclamation officer for Solar Sources. His name is George Bowles.
Here in Indiana. We're in the bottom of a coal mine, and I'm standing on coal. It's the result of prehistoric plants and animals being combined.
That is trees and plants that have been squeezed down, just like the earth is squeezed
You
down.
can see the different layers of rock, and if you look carefully.
Hey, would you stop that just for a second, Ms. Steiner? So, in the ground, this is the topsoil up here. We need to save the topsoil because that is good for planting. This is the subsoil, and this is shale. This used to actually be mud. Even though it's part of the earth, it's not a natural resource that we can burn. We can use this to make bricks. Here is the coal layer.
They mix them together.
They're in layers, and your job, just like those chips are in different layers: topsoil, subsoil, shale, coal.
Soil, the subsoil, and then below it this large gray area called shale, otherwise known as mudstone.
It's mudstone. Yep. Tastes like mud.
The gray shale is pretty interesting. It's actually fault lines, a natural process. But if you look carefully, you can see this black layer going right here. That's a coal layer that actually is valuable. And
So we have to get all that away to get to this coal. There's the coal. There's the chocolate chips you guys are doing.
falling through my fingers right here.
Now we don't want to leave.
This part of the mining operation, this is where all the black gold is.
No.
Right?
It's just a model,
Scooped
a
up,
game.
hauled up, processed, and sent on its way to power plants all across the Midwest and Indiana. It just so happens that this material is a combustible energy source. In fact, burning coal is one of the many ways we make electricity.
Those are all miners stripping away to get to the coal.
The coal is to have a pile.
That's a big mountain of coal, yeah.
This pile right here would heat our homes for a long time in Indiana. It takes a lot of effort to get
They have to dynamite, blow it up,
and even more work
and then they have to put it back together. That's what you're going to do in a minute.
before the mine
In fact,
is
this used to be
called a strip mine.
a big hole, and George has put it all back together with the help of his company. See behind me there?
It looks like a regular Indiana field, and they've worked really hard here to make that a reality. This is George Bowles, and he's in charge of getting the land back in shape after the coal has been extracted. His team works
We even put
the environment
creeks back.
after it's been
If they move a creek, they have to put it back and make it better.
That's that one. You know, that's a $2 fine. This one, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What happened?
$51.
You're getting a $15 fine. We have a toxic waste site here. These miners, I have no idea what happened. What happened?
It's more dynamite.
Did your employees were asleep on the job? I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to shut this mine down. The cleanup is gonna cost, boys and girls, I'm sorry, the cleanup's gonna be $200. That's okay, we're gonna find everybody to help pay for this.
At least I have 50. No!
I need to know your total fines. Add your fines to all your costs to get what's called your total costs, which happens to be, it goes, add them all up. Can someone tell me what their total costs? What's your total cost? $60. Did you get fined? How much did you get fined? $15. Why? What happened? Yeah. Did anybody get fined more than $15? How much did you get fined?
50.
$50?
200.
I don't think I'm going to give you a permit next year. You are not very good at this. Yes, my dear.
$249.
Now, can you explain why we had such trouble mining? Were you a brand new miner?
No.
Did your tools break?
A lot.
Your tools broke. Okay, that's okay. We all are responsible for cleaning that up. So now, let's find your profits. Your profits are this. Your profits, well, let's find how much you've earned so far. So take every whole chip, every chip that's a good chip, however many that is, times $5. And that goes up at the top. So count how many chips you have. Put that number at the top. Now, count them by fives now and put that number right here. Count them by fives and put the number right there. Okay, so we finished the actual mining. Now it becomes the important part, the paperwork. Now, Brianna, I noticed that you had 24 times 5 each. That's $120. And you had some partials of 10. When you add those together, your gross amount of earnings was what?
$130.
$130.
So down here where it says my profit from A, that's A. So she's got $130 that she made. Now we got to subtract what it cost you to do all this. So you had $3 cookie, $19 loan, your tools came to $12, your labor cost was $15, and you got fined a little bit for $10. So your cost to operate this mine was $59. Now, let's see if she made money or lost money. So we have to subtract those, right? So it looks like we subtract 130 minus the 59. So what that's going to end up being is $71. You made a profit of $71. Of course, I have to tax you a little bit because, you know, the government needs the money because we built the roads. So I'm going to tax you 10%. So I'm going to subtract $7 from that. All right. So now you take home $64. Okay. Very good. Who is this? What mining company is this? Nevaeh's mining company. Nevaeh. She only got 15 chips, $75, but she had no partials. Her total was $75. Okay. She had expenses of $47. So if we subtract those out, 8, you had a profit of $28 after I take out my tax of $3. You made $25. Hey, at least you made a living. Now, my friend here, she had some trouble in the mining company. I don't know what happened. We're not sure. But when she was done, there was such a mess in the land that she got fined a lot of money. She made $60, but she was fined $249. So the government says, well, we'll subtract the 60 out, okay? So she ends up owing still $189. Now we have to decide. If her business goes under, she leaves the mess. So who's going to pay for this?
You guys.
Everybody's going to pay for it. Luckily, we collect taxes. We're going to keep you in business, but you have to do a better job next year. All right, so this was, how is this like real mining? How is this like real mining?
Because we have to buy the tools and we have to buy our land and we have the time, and we have
Yeah.
the taxes and we get money and
Yeah.
stuff.
How else was it like real mining? Yes.
Fees.
There were fees, and there were fines. How else?
We had to dig the stuff out.
You had to dig the ore out, and could you do it anytime you wanted?
No.
No. And what happens if, did anybody have a tool that broke down? Yeah, so those are extra costs, maybe. How is this not like real mining? Yes.
Not real land.
It's not real land, so it's a simulation. What else?
Just had a cookie.
It was just a cookie. Well, in the real world, it's a lot harder to clean up. But today, your cleanup's going to be quite easy. Go ahead, back to your seats, and do a good job cleaning up by eating the land and your property.
We really can eat it?
Hey, after you do your paperwork,